Oh my goodness, you are. You are being... Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to Novel Idea. My name is Dia, and we'll let Poppy get a drink. I would like to go over a small pile of possibilities for November, and then I do have some definite ones in there as well. She's being a pill. No, you get, no. Up here. You get up, lie down, be a good girl. So, you are being a pill. So November for me is always nonfiction November. And it's when I like to get caught up on all of the nonfiction that I've been wanting to read, but haven't had a chance to yet in the year. I do read a lot of nonfiction throughout the year. Right now, I'm sitting at about 33%, and I would like to increase that. So we are gonna go over both nonfiction and fiction reads, however, because I don't want to do a separate video for them. I'm having such a hard time finding time and things for making videos right now. Since I'm sitting down to do this, let's just do it all. Okay, so let's jump in. If you don't know what Nonfiction November is, this is put on by A Book Olive, and I think this is probably the is it like the 9th year that it's been going? And I honestly can't remember what number it is for me, but I was participating in Nonfiction November long before I started my BookTube channel. I have been participating in it for a very long time, and she always sets some words as prompts to help us kind of get thinking about some possibilities and that kind of thing. I don't know how well my choices are going to line up with the prompts, but as I read them, that may become a little bit more clear. So we will maybe try to shoehorn them into the right prompt as I read. Right now, I'm just going to tell you about what I plan to read and who I plan to read it with, because most of these are buddy reads. Let me tell you the prompts. The words for the prompts are fraud, capital, display, and web. So those are the 4 prompts that Olive came up with for this year. And she, in her video, explains all different kinds of ways that you could approach those prompts. And so I'll link her video down below so you can go check that out if you would like to. But the first one is one that I have already announced on this channel, and that is Joy in Christ's Presence. This is by Charles Spurgeon. This is going to be a month-long readathon with Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia and Chrissie from Chrissie's Purple Library. And we will be doing live show discussions every Sunday throughout the month, except for the last Sunday. And that live show will be actually on a Monday. So all of that information is in my announcement video, which I will also link down below. The next one is a book that Camilla from Hasty Reads and I decided to read together when the last book that we tried to read together was not successful, and that is The Sea Room by Adam Nicholson. Our last one that we tried to read was John Banville's The Sea, and neither one of us were liking it even a little bit. And so we did actually like the writing at the beginning. Whenever he was talking about the countryside, we liked the book. But this is a nonfiction written by Adam about the Scottish island that his family owned when he was growing up, and just how life on that island was, and telling stories to his son. And I think it'll be much more successful than John Banville's The Sea. But we thought we'd stick with the theme of sea. We both owned it as well, so that was helpful. So I'll be reading that with Camilla. Sandy from Miss Reads a Lot and I just decided that we would be doing John Steinbeck's Travels with Charley. This is about John Steinbeck traveling around the United States with his dog. And my friend Christy Lewis from Christy Lewis Dostoevsky in Space read this not too long ago, and that's actually why I even bought the book. And Sandy had this on her shelf, and so we decided that we would read this together for Nonfiction November. Then I also have Underland by Robert MacFarlane, and this is a library book, so I have placed a hold on it at the library, and I'm next in line for it, so I should get it in plenty of time for Nonfiction November. And it is basically about trees. It's about the forest, the woods, the underground part of the network as well. I am not reading that one with anybody. That's just strictly me. And then also I have French Dirt. This is the story of a garden in the south of France by Richard Goodman. I heard about this from Alexandra at the Ritual of Reading. I am not sure. She'll be linked down below, but Alexandra is the one who introduced me to this book, and I have been wanting to read it, so I'm going to try to also fit this one in for Nonfiction November. And then I have Snowball Oranges. This is by Peter Kerr, and it is one of many of Peter Kerr's books. I think there are 4, maybe one for each season, about his time on the island of Majorca, and they have a grove of orange trees, and so it's just stories from their time there. And so I thought that I might be able to get to this one. And then I have some that are on writing, and so I don't know if I will have the focus or the capacity to be able to really give these the attention that I want to give them, but I'm going to put them on this pile of possibilities because I would like to get to them and read them. One is Writer to Writer by Gail Levine. She is a middle grade author, maybe some young adult, but I think mostly middle grade. And I would like to read this one. And then I have this one that's So Many Books, So Little Time. And this is more on reading books. And oh, I'm sorry, it's by Sara Nelson. And then I have Eat, Shoots and Leaves. And this is a zero tolerance approach to punctuation, and it's by Lynne Truss. And I have read parts of this before, but I've never read the whole thing, so I would like to get to this one. Okay, and then I also have one that is called True Love, and this is by Thich, Nhat, Hanh. Is that right? I think it's right. Thich, Nhat, Hanh. He was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize around the same time as Martin Luther King Jr. My daughter, I asked my family for some recommendations, what they would recommend to me to read. And I asked for a favorite book that they had read recently or an all-time favorite book and that kind of thing. And my youngest daughter is the one who said that I should read True Love. My mother-in-law actually recommended that I read A Prayer for Owen, Meany by John Irving. So I will also be reading that one. I read it many, many, many years ago. I want to say like when it was first published is when I read it. And I found out later that Frederick Buckner, who I love as an author and speaker as well, I found out that he helped with some aspects as John Irving was writing A Prayer for Owen, Meany. And I've been wanting to reread it, and then she recommended it. And my niece, who is, I want to say 14, recommended that I read Tuesdays at the Castle by Jessica Day George. And so I am going to also be picking that one up. And those are all going to be library books, and I have placed my holds, and it looks like they're gonna come in on time, so it should be fine. And then one more I have now in November, and this is by Josephine Johnson, and she is the winner of the Pulitzer Prize. And let's see what year, 1935, and she was the youngest person to ever win the Pulitzer, or at least the youngest at the time. Priscilla from The Evening Reader and I are going to be buddy reading this, and we haven't settled on when we're starting it or anything like that, but we know we're reading it in November. And so I heard about this from Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading and Kim from Middle of the Book March, and it's a Pulitzer I have never read, and they both absolutely love this, and so I'm hopeful that I will love it as well. Those are my November plans. I would love to hear if you are planning on participating in Nonfiction November. Are you gonna try to do the prompts? The whole purpose of Nonfiction November is to get you to read a little more nonfiction than you normally do. And Olive will tell you that. That's one of the very first things she says in her videos. But as with any reading challenge, I don't just read the books from the challenge. I also have to intersperse them with some other things. So that's what I'll be doing. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will be back with another video very soon, hopefully. Thanks again, everyone. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you again very soon. Can you say goodbye, puppy? Can you say goodbye?